Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Chaos-Reighn here. Once again, I am here to bring you an update to where I'm at in my build, along with bring you a kind of insight of what I'm doing with my build, what I'm crafting, how I'm going about doing everything I'm doing, and how I'm going to go about making my character one of the most evasive characters I can possibly make him. Her. Either way. Without further ado, I'm going to get into a little bit of a I guess rant slash update slash whatever of where I'm at. And to start that rant, I will be showing you my updates. Well, as you know, last time you saw I was still running self chill. I had been switching back and forth between Raider and a Deadeye, and I was running a lot of lab and whatnot. That was paying off a lot, but I ran out of twice in chance and I haven't fulfilled any orders due to it. And I haven't been prophecy farming for the past couple of days, so I'm also out of currency because of a recent purchase. So all in all, it all added up. But this is why. Well, as you see, we have gotten another headhunter. Now, we have basically pretty much paid really cheap on the dollar for this from a friend who basically needed the currency and really just wanted to help me out as I needed it for my build to basically progress my build even further. We have dropped the self-chill, so we are using a second taming. I have yet to catalyst it up. I'm probably going to catalyst it with elemental res, just like this one, and my reasoning is because I'm eventually going to be changing my boots. Our gloves have finally been crafted, though they need to be Aisling slammed. This is where they're at. So we elevated the tier 1 chance to evade attacks from Redemption, and the elevated faster attacks from um, Elder to make a dual elevated pair of gripped gloves, and then we forced on faster projectiles. So the good thing about this is you can reforge speed and reforge defense on the initial modifiers for these in the harvest until you hit the first mod you need and or both mods you need, and it's pretty much guaranteed to eventually hit if you do it right. If you do reforge defense more common on the gloves, for example, you will usually roll your defense modifiers and then also roll chance to evade because it is a decently high weighted. The second thing is the faster attacks, which is literally just reforged speed. There are 3 different speed affixes you can hit, which is natural attack speed, elder attack and cast speed, and elder faster attacks. It didn't take us very long to hit faster attacks, and then we forced on the other prefix, which was faster projectiles. It hit first elevation, and we hit first elevation off the gloves we bought off market for only 10C, and we awakened them together. Next, we did suffixes can't be changed with reforged speed. We only had to do it once to get T1 projectile speed, and then we crafted on life and got lucky with another open affix. Our open affix is pretty obvious. We're basically going to just Aisling Slam it as soon as we either buy one or manage to farm it up ourselves, and when we do that, we are going to basically have even more damage in our pseudo 7 link clear gloves. Our pseudo 7 link is supported with inspiration, awaken added cold, awaken chain, and of course we have ice shot because this is our clear. Next thing is our armor. See, our armor is basically mimicking what we had going on last league. Now currently this is the current setup. This is not the setup I recommend you doing the setup I recommend you doing towards the build end. This is only this way until I get the rest of my defensive layers done, and here is why. First and foremost, here's our links: Ensnaring Arrow and Divergent Herald Device. Divergent Herald Device basically scales off of our cold damage, everything like that, and allows us to, shatter enemies, and that allows us to apply curse to whole packs, whereas this allows us to apply curses and make bosses take more damage. Attached to Awaken Hex Touch, Elemental Weakness, Frostbite, and excuse me, Enhance. So, and the reason, here's my reasoning. First and foremost, the Divergent Frostbite with the alternate quality gives you 22% chance to freeze. Now, honestly, this is not the ideal. I'm not gonna lie, this is just basically giving me another defensive layer, especially in ultimatums. With a over 100% chance to freeze in my kit, I basically perma-freeze enemies and then shatter them and they explode with Herald of Ice, doing more damage, so on and so forth. So other than that, we also had the Divergent Frostbite, which also grants you an insane amount of chance to freeze. With the alternate quality giving us 44% chance to freeze, we are guaranteeing a frozen enemy every single time we shoot. Then we have an elemental weakness, which is just increased effective curse, which is really good, and the 22% increased effective curse is even better. If you can get this level 21 or 21-23 even, I would recommend aiming for that, as it is really strong. But currently this is where we're at until we decide to buy a whole bunch of these and take them to the Corruption Chamber. Next we have our helmet, which is using an Enhance, Hydrosphere, Blood Rage, and Sniper Smart. So Enhance is one of the key things in here because Hydrosphere's pulse frequency allows us to do even more damage really quickly, especially against bossing. And Blood Rage and Sniper's Mark both get insane DPS increases, aka 6% increased attack speed with Blood Rage, and Sniper's Mark gets 6% increased damage taken from hits, which is a more multiplier. So all in all, our Sniper's Mark is applying 46% more damage taken by enemies, and then we get life and mana when we hit cursed enemies. Now we'll move on to our tree. Our tree has been modified to not incorporate self-chill. As such, we had to make some adjustments. So first of all, I need to fix that. I'll get back. I'll put those points back in right now. So as you see, we are taking the assassination, going all the way down here, taking our normal pathing, and basically pathing all the way to the end of that voices, as you saw. And I'll explain the reasoning once I get to it. We go down here and we have 1 projectile damage. We actually have 2 of these already spec'd in. For now, this is what I'm going to be using, but I do plan to make a change, and I'll get to that change when I get to it. We are taking the dodge nodes. As I said, we're going to be trying to scale dodge up, and when we do that, it'll be a really good thing, trust me. We have crit chance, crit multi. We're taking our Inspired Learning here with the Frenzy Charge and the Herbalism. We're taking the full bow wheel, so we have the full advantage of the crit chance, and then again the full advantage of bow damage and attack speed. Excuse me. We also convert the other 40% because we are not using any alt quality ice shots. We are taking the crit nodes down here and the fleet foot down here. We are speccing into the Life Wheel and even taking the Wind Dancer to give us a little bit of survivability, even though we don't have a whole lot of otherwise. We do take Point Blank, even though we are also taking Far Shot. That way we don't get a massive minus multiplier with Far Shot. We just kind of balance out. Obviously, if we go past the point of Point Blank, we we do more damage with Point Blank than the Far Shot will minus. I'm not too sure exactly how this maths out. I believe by the time it gets to Far Shot does just about 45% more. I don't know for sure. But other than that, we do have 1/7 passive voices that we self-farmed with a Pressure Points and Overwhelming Malice jewel. Overwhelming Malice gives us a little bit of physical. Sorry, we gain physical as extra chaos, which is really strong for us. We also have the chance to deal double damage in this, and eventually maybe I'll do crit, but for now we're not. We are taking a lightning cluster just so I can have my res capped. We have a cold conduction and blast freeze. Because we are freezing enemies always, we want the freeze to spread, and cold conduction is just the most overpowered node ever for any ice build. And then our last one is just another repeater and streamlined. We will be changing these clusters out eventually. I will update you as I get to them, but for now this is where we're at in our build, and pretty much let's show you what we're farming now. So as you've seen in my old videos, I have shown multiple farming methods, whether it be farming specifically currency, farming specifically blight maps, farming for Legion, farming for pretty much anything you can think of, such as target farming, anything you want to do that content, all the way to doing harvest. So we're gonna kind of go over a little more of a detailed harvesting. I'm only going to put in one map to show you and kind of show you what it looks like. If you've ever played any Headhunter build ever, you'll notice that it's pretty obvious what I'm doing. I'm going to run this map as fast as possible, get as much as I can out of it, and move on with my maps with whatever value I gotten out of this map. As you know, there is Nemesis roll on it. If you saw, I actually have a surplus of Scourings, Chances, and Alchemies due to farming Valdo's Rest and Heist so often. So I am Scour and Chancing or Scour and Binding Orbing every single one of my maps to have Nemesis. I've also recently taken the time and effort to buy an entire 70 of the toll maps off of someone who has had a surplus, basically farmed them up. And I am officially running a big surplus of tolls pretty soon here, just so I can get some crafts done and maybe even get some rare crafts to sell for some currency. As of now, I have 0 exalts. My biggest buy recently was again a headhunter, and that is pretty blatantly obvious why that was expensive. As you know, with my last one, I pretty much bought the pretty much bought the headhunter, and then went from getting that headhunter to selling the headhunter, and then buying a bunch of stuff and gambling it. Now the league is so dead that I'm not really having much luck doing anything, selling anything in it. So I had to hard grind all of my currency, along with find buyers for bite maps, find buyers for contracts, find buyers for Legion, find buyers for for Breach, and everything of that sort. Excuse me. Well, ooh. Now, without kind of going into full detail of everything that I did manage to spend some currency and then earn it back up, and then spend more and earn it back up a couple of times. Let me just end this real quick. The Delirium Fog on console, as you saw, will hide the little explosions from the magic monsters, and that can be a problem. Alright, as you know, we are also farming our ritual here, and that is because ritual is very valuable. You can get a lot of currency passively off of ritual just by having it on your maps. And that is the map boss with only 1 buff. As you see, these gloves are pretty insane with double attack speed on them and our evade chance increase. Oh, see, at least I was able to see at that time. We're able to do a whole lot of damage. Alright, let's go ahead and do this ultimatum, and then I can show you the last thing. Now, ultimatums are pretty easy, though you do have to worry about certain things. Oh, look. This is... Gotta love it. Alright. You do have to worry about certain things. Certain ones, like stand in stone circles, can be a little bit touch and go. If you don't like ultimatums, or if you're not like comfortable with ultimatums, then be sure to do high-end ultimatums a little bit later in your build. I will say that they're relatively easy for me. I literally have no troubles with them thanks to the headhunter, but I wasn't having troubles with them with self-chill either. It's just a lot easier with a headhunter because headhunter and ultimatum is just ridiculous. As you see, we're getting buffs and things are just pretty much being trivialized. Some enemies will damage us every now and then we'll just literally delete them. Now I have managed to literally delete the Trial Master about 6 or 7 times. This league, by the way, total. And he's literally never dropped me anything worthwhile. I think, oh, that's a lie. One time I got a +1 arrow, what do you call it, helm, which is cool, I guess, but this was after I already bought some to enchant to keep for myself, so. Alright, let's go to our harvest real quick. I like to drop a portal in my harvest so I can kind of load back in directly in if I die. We are still pretty glass cannony, so we have to be careful. See, as you see, we don't have a lot. So this is one of the best ones. Xana crafting options is one of my favorite. Alright. And free infused domination is always really good. I say free even though I paid some chaos for it. It's still pretty free. Where are my maps? There they are. Oh, I don't need that. I can just do any. Now, I've been sacrificing maps pretty much every single one of these I do, so it's really valuable to do the old prophecy farm in the beginning and do a bunch of white maps if you know you're starting late or whatever. But either way, if you don't know what I'm talking about or referring to, I am referring to my methods on how I basically built a whole iShop build using nothing but T1 to 5 maps on a minimal investment. If you want to see that, feel free to check it out. I have done a whole lot of stuff already on it, so you know I'm pretty well lit up. Let's see. We got 8 patient cards. Woo! We have a single nurse. All right, let's see. Reroll values, prefix, affix, and implicit. We don't really care. I think we only have one plot to read, and then we're done. Change map and another map allows you to enhance specialized currency. I don't care. All right, so that's that. We have pretty much showed you what we came to show you. We have updated our build, and we are officially doing, you know, the crafting part of our project. As you see, we have a lot less movement speed, but we do have movement speed if we start hitting things. I will be getting to, you know, changing my build up a little bit with the clusters on what I'm going to do, but I need more currency, and I'm completely out at this second. Well, without further ado, this has been Chaos-Reighn, and as always, everybody, have a good one. And if I don't see you or post in the next couple of days, it's because I am going to be at my parents' house and hanging out with them. As you know, it's Father's Day, so I'm going to wish all you fathers out there a happy Father's Day. Everyone take it easy, and I hope you all have a good weekend. Goodbye, guys.